Marshall Mathers IV here. I wish that Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine, which was released and came out on July 2 in the year 2003, would have came out and been released on July 2nd in the year 1988. That is what I personally and strongly wish. And that's only, of course, if Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which was released on July 3 in the year 1991, 7 years after the first Terminator film that was released in the year 1984, if Terminator 2, being Judgment Day, would have came out and been released on July 3 in the year 1986, making it only 2 years after the first film, and then Terminator 3 being released in the year 1988, being 2 years after 1986. And that way, the three Terminator films would not only have been only 2 years apart in year gap, or time between each film's release, but also all three would have came out in the 80s, which would have been fucking awesome and just amazing. And what's crazy is the fact that the sequel, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, came out exactly 7 years after the first Terminator that was released in 1984. I don't know the month or day it was released, but I do know that it was released in the year 1984. And that's a long-ass time to wait for just a sequel. 7 years, that's almost an entire fucking decade later. And then Terminator 3 totally kicks that out of the park, being the sequel, the time gap between the first two Terminator films, because then Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine came out on July 2 in the year 2003, being 12 years after the Terminator sequel, Terminator Judgment Day. And it's just unbelievable, the year gaps between the first and the second film, and then even more so the year gaps between the second and third film in the original Terminator trilogy. I mean, this shit is just unfucking believable. It's outrageous. It's ridiculous. Regardless of what you think or believe or whatever, it's insane. And I mean, the longest a person should ever have to wait for a sequel to a movie, or a threequel, or however many films are in a certain specific film series, is 2 years tops. At the very most. Because I hate when even a film in a film series takes more than 2 years to come out after a first one or second one or whatever. That shit pisses me off and gets on my fucking nerves. I hate that shit. So I most definitely wish that Terminator 3 Rise of the Machine would have came out and been released on July 2nd in the year 1988, and then Terminator 2 Judgment Day on July 3rd in the year 1986, being only 2 years after the first Terminator film, released in 1984. I'm out.